I'm Max Pringle with these headlines. Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi has won this year's Nobel Peace Prize. She's campaigned for women's rights, democracy, and against the death penalty in Iran for years. The 51-year-old has kept up her activism despite numerous arrests. Norwegian Nobel Committee Chair Berit Reiss-Andersen said Mohammadi is the voice of Iran's women's rights movement.
Narges Mohammadi is a woman, a human rights advocate, and a freedom fighter.
She has remained a leading light for nationwide women-led protests sparked by the death last year of a 22-year-old woman in police custody. Those demonstrations grew into one of the most intense challenges ever to Iran's theocratic government. The chair of the Norwegian Nobel Committee announced the prize Friday in Oslo. The latest government jobs numbers are out, and it's showing strong employment gains for September. The Labor Department report shows that employers hired 336,000 workers last month. That's up from 227,000 in August. Donna Warder reports.
Economists who were surveyed say that employers likely added 163,000 jobs last month. That's a solid increase, but it's down sharply from the pace earlier this year, when the economy was adding 310,000 jobs a month on average in the first quarter. Economists believe the September unemployment rate dropped to 3.7% from 3.8% in August. That's near a 50-year low. The job market appears to be cooling, and that's something Federal Reserve officials would like to see. But surveys by the trade group the Institute for Supply Management found that manufacturing and service companies kept adding jobs last month. Donna Warder, Washington.
It's still up in the air who will replace ousted House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana has thrown his hat in the ring, as has Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan of Ohio. Jordan has picked up the endorsement of former President Trump. Ed Donahue reports.
Sources tell the AP former President Donald Trump is in talks to visit Capitol Hill next week. With Kevin McCarthy out, Republicans in the House are looking for a new leader.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker.
Some on the far right have floated the former president as a potential candidate for Speaker, perhaps on an interim basis. He was asked about it during a court appearance in New York.
I'm running for president. I'm up by 40 and 50 points and more in some cases. But whatever I can do to help with regard to Speaker is good.
There is no requirement a person be a member of the House to serve as Speaker, but every one of the 55 speakers elected has been a member of the House. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Russian lawmakers are considering scrapping an international treaty prohibiting all nuclear explosions. This could open the door for Moscow to test nuclear weapons. Some 1,500 invited guests attended the memorial service for Dianne Feinstein, who passed away last week at age 90. Vice President Kamala Harris, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer were among the dignitaries paying tribute to the late U.S. Senator and former San Francisco mayor. Christopher Martinez has that story.
President Joe Biden offered a eulogy by video, saying Feinstein was tough, compassionate, and she turned passion into purpose.
May Diane's life be a reminder that the institutions of our democracy do not only depend on the Constitution that governs our nation. Our democracy depends on the Constitution of our character.
House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, also from San Francisco, announced she left on her own terms. She says people ask her what's the best advice she ever got from Feinstein.
The most constant advice I ever got from her, again and again, was, Nancy, you don't always have to be the one going out on the attack. Let some other people do that from time to time.
Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
And those are some of the headlines. I'm Max Pringle.